the hardest thing to listen to, your instincts, your human personal intuition, always whispers, it never shouts.
Steven Spielberg is an American filmmaker. He's considered one of the founding pioneers of the new Hollywood era and one of the most popular directors and producers in film history. Steven Spielberg's name is synonymous with film, and his career spans over 4 decades. Some of his most famous movies include Jaws, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Indiana Jones. Honestly, even the hit list is too long to mention in a quick blurb. Spielberg is one of the American film industry's most critically successful filmmakers, with praise for his directing talent and versatility, and he's won the Academy Award for Best Director twice. Some of his movies are also among the highest-grossing films, while his total work makes him the highest-grossing film director in history.
Everybody had 3 things to say. They never also threw the picture of the ad libbing. Gee, it's big. You see it coming there? Look out, Charlie! Fire now! Look at the grenades! Duck! Everybody had about 3 lines to say, and they all overlapped each other. It was terrific.
If you enjoy these videos, please remember to hit the like button, as it does help us out a lot. And comment below who your favorite celebrity is that you'd love to see in an upcoming video. His full name is Steven Allen Spielberg, but he's also known as the King of Entertainment. He was born on December 18, 1946 in Cincinnati, Ohio, making him 73 at the time of this production. He stands 5'7" or 170.2 centimeters. Steven Spielberg's hobbies include playing video games, collecting Norman Rockwell paintings and illustrations, and watching films. Spielberg is also an avid boating enthusiast. Although we can't imagine where he finds the time, Spielberg is also a film buff who watches several films on any given weekend. He's a collector of old film memorabilia. He owns brag-worthy trinkets like a balsa rosebud sled from the set of Citizen Kane, and Orson Welles' own directorial copy of the script for 1938's The War of the Worlds. Spielberg owns many works by American painter Norman Rockwell. His own personal collection of 57 Rockwell paintings, along with fellow collector George Lucas's own works, were displayed at the Smithsonian in an exhibit titled Telling Stories from July 2nd to January 2nd, 2011. Spielberg met actress Amy Irving in 1976 at the suggestion of director Brian De Palma, who knew he was looking for an actress to play in Close Encounters. They began dating and soon moved in together. They broke up in 1979, but remained close friends. Then in 1984, they renewed their romance, and in November 1985, they married after the birth of their son, Max Samuel. But after 3.5 years of marriage, many of the same competing stresses of their careers caused them to divorce in 1989. They agreed to maintain homes near each other to facilitate the shared custody and parenting of their son. Spielberg subsequently developed a relationship with actress Kate Capshaw, whom he met when he cast her in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. They married on October 12, 1991. Capshaw is a convert to Judaism.
We have gumballs, M&Ms, peanut M&Ms, or bottle caps.
Peanut M&Ms.
Yeah, I am gonna go with gumballs because the idea of E.T. chewing on gum.
Spielberg had humble beginnings when he was just a boy with a huge imagination and a dream. His mother, Leah Atterer, was a concert pianist, and his father, Arnold Spielberg, was an electrical engineer involved in the development of computers. It was in Scottsdale, Arizona, as a teenager, where a young Spielberg would create 8mm short films. At age 12, he made his first movie when he filmed a train wreck involving his toy Lionel trains. Even back then, Spielberg had the gall to charge 25 cents for the local kids to come and watch his many epics. Unfortunately, his parents eventually divorced. Then he moved with his father to Saratoga, California, where Steven attended and graduated from Saratoga High School. After graduation, he applied to the University of Southern California School of Theater, Film, and Television, but was rejected 3 times. Instead, he attended Cal State Long Beach. His career did not begin until he worked at Universal Studios as an unpaid intern for the editing department. It was during this time that Spielberg directed a 24-minute short film, Amblin, a name that he would eventually carry to his production company, which caught the eye of Sidney Sheinberg, who was the vice president of production for Universal's television division. Spielberg became the youngest director ever to sign a long-term contract with a major studio. It wasn't until 1975 when Spielberg's career skyrocketed with the success of Jaws. In 1975, Jaws became the first real blockbuster film after over 67% of Americans went to see it. At that time, he rejected offers to make Jaws 2, King Kong, and Superman. Instead, Spielberg followed Jaws up with Close Encounters of the Third Kind starring Richard Dreyfuss, who Spielberg considers his alter ego. In 1981, he teamed up with longtime friend and fellow filmmaker George Lucas to create Raiders of the Lost Ark, the first installment in the Indiana Jones series, which was an even bigger hit. A year later, Spielberg went back to the science fiction genre when he directed E.T. the Extraterrestrial. The film went on to become the top-grossing film of all time and was nominated for 9 Oscars. Spielberg transitioned into addressing serious issues with his later work with The Color Purple, 1985, Empire of the Sun, 1987, Schindler's List, 1993, Amistad, 1997, and Saving Private Ryan, 1998. He has largely adhered to this practice during the 21st century also. He co-founded Amblin Entertainment and DreamWorks Pictures, where he has also served as a producer or executive producer for several successful film trilogies, tetralogies, and more. He later transitioned into producing several video games. Steven Spielberg's net worth is $3.7 billion. Steven and Kate own at least $200 million worth of real estate. For many years, they owned a 1.4-acre slice of Malibu's most coveted beachfront. They bought the first parcels that became their final property back in 1989 for $3.375 million. They expanded their footprint in 2002, purchasing the lot next door for $3.2 million. They sold the property, which has 150 feet of ocean frontage, in 2015 for $26 million. Their longtime primary residence, which they still own today, is an incredible 5-acre multi-home compound in the Pacific Palisades. His Palisades home has a Hobbit-themed room with a retractable TV and Hobbit-like fireplace. Not far from their home, they also own an equestrian facility. On the East Coast, they own a 6,000 square foot New York City apartment that directly overlooks Central Park West. The apartment is located in the San Remo building, a luxury 27-floor co-op building located between West 74th Street and West 75th Street. Out in East Hampton, they own a 10-acre estate that is partially oceanfront and partially on a cove. The Spielberg compound encompasses 7.5 acres. The Spielbergs own several other Hamptons properties and a home in Naples, Florida. Stephen has also financed several homes for his children around Los Angeles. Spielberg also owns an island in the Madeira archipelago off the coast of Portugal. Spielberg has been seen driving an Aston Martin DB9 Volante, and a Tesla Model S. He purchased a 282-foot mega yacht called the Seven Seas in 2013. He paid $182 million for it. He later put it up for sale and upgraded to a new 300-foot yacht that cost him a whopping $250 million. He also owns a Bombardier Global Express jet worth around $60 million.